today it's about Koei's MSX games. This video is about the games that are suitable for all ages. These are the games they released on the MSX, where they primarily focused on war simulations. Nobunaga's Ambition is Japan's first historical simulation game. It introduced the concepts of economics and management into the traditional war simulation game genre. It resonated with modern business management principles and was ported to most personal computers, becoming a major hit. It was essentially created in BASIC, which really slows down the game's progress. From Nobunaga's Ambition National Edition onwards, development was done in the C language. This greatly improved processing speed by using high-capacity cartridges. You could only play as Nobunaga or Takeda Shingen in the original, but now you can choose from and play as the leaders of 50 countries. The number of players who can play simultaneously has significantly increased to 8. Now, this is the first game in Koei's Three Kingdoms series. Following the success of Nobunaga's Ambition National Edition, this was developed based on its system, and it features officers other than the monarch. There are 255 characters in total, making it the first game in the series with a relatively small number of characters. There is also the enjoyment of watching simple animations play when commands are executed. Genghis Khan features enhanced graphics over the prior Blue Wolf and White Stag. It has improved several parts. Special items were added, and the user interface was completely revamped. It features a unique salary system and allows for the birth of children. To guard against betrayal by generals, it is necessary to place trusted family members in important positions. The playable countries are limited to 4: Mongolia, Japan, England, and Byzantium. Bandit Kings of Ancient China is the first game in the Suikoden series produced by Koei. Unlike the Romance of the Three Kingdoms series, the goal of the game is not the unification of China, but to manage conflicts of interest. When an enemy army invades, they will always demand an idol, and by paying money, you can avoid combat. In the MSX version, some scenarios were removed due to the ROM cartridge's capacity limitations. The number of characters that appear is 255 in total, and there are unique attributes such as the character's status and popularity. Nobunaga's Ambition Warring States was released in December 1988 and is the third game in the Nobunaga's Ambition series. The concept of equipable armaments was introduced for the first time in the series, and around 400 characters appear across the country. Action points were added, allowing each group to execute commands multiple times within the range of their action points. Compared to the previous game, the types of background music has increased, and there is also a song specifically for Nobunaga. Here is the first game in Koei's new series, Isshin no Arashi. This is a game where you stabilize Japan's ideology amidst the chaos of the Bakumatsu period and achieve the Meiji Restoration. There are 3 ideologies that appear in the game. In the series, this game has the most selectable protagonists, and there are also special guests that appear. Here's the next game based on the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. At the time of its release, it surpassed its predecessor, achieving explosive popularity. In the previous game, you could only use a command once for a single province, but in Romance of the Three Kingdoms 2, you can use commands for as many officers as you have. In addition to upgrades in graphics and sound, the diplomacy, strategy, and combat systems have been enhanced. There are 352 characters in Romance 2, an increase of nearly 100 from the previous game. Here is the first game in the Daikukai Jidai series produced by Koei, otherwise known as Uncharted Waters. You play as Philoton, a fallen noble from the 16th century. The goal of the game is to marry a Portuguese princess. There may not be many events in this game, but it does have a high degree of freedom. The system in Uncharted Waters is quite similar to the American game Sid Meier's Pirates, especially the princess system. L'Empereur is a historical simulation game based on the Napoleonic Wars in Europe. This is the first Koei game to introduce a confusion system, making it very difficult. The troops are divided into 3 types, and the general's abilities are displayed in 4 levels instead of numerical values. The blend of balance and fun makes it the strongest of any Koei game of its time. L'Empereur is a top-tier masterpiece, but it has fewer fans and gets mentioned less frequently than other historical simulation games. PTO is the first game in Koei's Modern War simulation series based on World War II. The player becomes the commander of the Combined Fleet and the commander of the Pacific Fleet. It's a game where you annihilate enemy fleets and capture bases. On the movement screen, you can send a message once per turn without fail. Only one fleet can be controlled by the player, while the remaining fleets are controlled by AI. Lord of Darkness was released in December 1990 and is the 4th installment in the Nobunaga's Ambition series. The biggest difference from the previous game is that the concept of artificiality disappeared, and technology and culture were added. Various historical events were added, the Kyushu region was revived, and all 48 provinces are featured. Unlike the previous game, the cannons can perform long-range attacks, and the shooting distance is extended when placed on high ground. This is the final game in the Nobunaga's Ambition series released for the MSX. Inindo is a unique turn-based RPG based on Koei's iconic Nobunaga's Ambition series of strategy games. It is a game where Nobunaga appears as the antagonist. This is the 3rd installment in the Rekoishin series following Ishin no Arashi and Uncharted Waters. The introduction and first half is a role-playing game, but the second half incorporates more simulation elements like relationships and wars. The MSX version uses a high-capacity 8-megabit cartridge and floppy disk. It supports MSX Music and the high-speed mode of MSX Turbo R. Gemfire is a strategy simulation game set in the world of fantasy. The player's goal is to gather 6 gem wizards and unify the land. Similar to the Sengoku series, the game's difficulty is relatively low, but even advanced players can enjoy its strategic elements. Set against the backdrop of the Second World War, Operation Europe is the 2nd edition of the Modern War series by Koei. Unlike Taiko Rishiden, this is a clear-the-scenario-style tactical simulation. Another strategic game by Koei, similar to the Nobunaga's Ambition series. The abilities of commanders are determined by a point system, and there are a total of 84 characters. There are 6 possible scenarios to choose from, and 130 types of weapons available. This is Genghis Khan II Clan of the Grey Wolf, the 3rd in the series. For the first time in the series, culture and climate are added, and your strategy considers these elements. There are 4 scenarios in total, and the series feature, Character Age, has been enhanced. This game holds a very important place in Koei's history. The character's ability values are verified by the age system. When the character becomes elderly or when a turn ends, an event occurs with a certain probability that decreases your stamina. This has been a discussion about MSX games released by Koei. Thank you for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.